Welcome back to Life Changing Wealth. You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay Biondo here. I post 2 videos every day about investing, the stock market, and cryptocurrency. Guys, if you like the comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you get the information right away. So let's jump into it today. It's going to be a bit of a different approach than yesterday. I want to give a sort of a stock market update, or essentially an update on really some things that I'm invested in and some companies that I find interest in, and what my opinion is on some of those. So let's start out. Facebook, we're going to get to them. I don't want to start with them though. Today I want to start talking about Tesla. So Tesla, as I mentioned yesterday, was about to break out of essentially their previous all-time high. So the previous all-time high for Tesla was at almost $900. Okay, and I had said in the past that once it breaks that $900 mark, I think it's going to fly. I still think it's going to fly, and so. Why do I think that? Well, typically when you see a new all-time high, usually you get a nice little bump. You get a little juice behind it. So I think that's going to happen, but I do think that there will be a pullback. Let's dive into some parts of this for a second, some parts of the chart. So right now, from the last level of resistance, really, we've only seen, about a 14% move. When in the past, at the last level of resistance, at the previous boom to the all-time high, we're looking at 39% move. So I think this is just getting started. I'm going to be looking out for at least another 15% move on this, and then I might take some profits on it because I do think that the fair value is somewhere around $900. So that's what I think about Tesla. That's what I think is going to happen. That's where I think the project is going. Another company I want to talk about is Shopify. So Shopify is another stock investment I have in my portfolio, which typically I think is a fantastic e-commerce platform. I have a lot of issues with Shopify. I've built e-commerce stores with them, but they're getting clobbered a little bit. They really haven't done much. In the summer, July 23rd, they hit an all-time high of 1650, and since then they've been floundering. And so, why is this? The reason why I think this is going on is because in April of last year, Facebook got destroyed by Apple's iOS update. We're going to get into Facebook in a second, but essentially making it much more difficult for small businesses to advertise. And Shopify thrives on small businesses, small business owners selling merchandise, right? And so in addition to that, you've got Amazon coming to try and kick everyone's ass and making it very difficult for small businesses to thrive. In addition to that, though, we also have we're starting to get out of the e-commerce, boom that we were in from the COVID days. So now that we originally had quite the boost here. Let's go back. Yeah, go back to let's see. Wow, March. Holy cow! So March 20. The stock has performed really well with the boost of online sales through COVID, but lately it's just been hammered back down. I think that it's going to be interesting. I don't know exactly where I see this, but definitely something I'm going to be watching, and it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that it's struggled a little bit right now. The next stock I want to talk about is Coinbase. So Coinbase launched, what was the day? So back in April, when crypto was still doing pretty well. and got hammered. I had some friends asking me if I was going to buy in on this, and ultimately I didn't. I held off because I had a feeling that there was going to be a drop, that it was overvalued, that the original investment bank valuations on this were just way too high, and then it would come down. And the real thing was I just didn't know how low it would go. I kind of thought that it would hold firm at around the $300 mark, and ended up falling all the way down to 208, which would have been a great pickup, but it's kind of nervous to pick it up when you see such a dramatic fall. As we scroll in here, so it's kind of been pretty much flat over the summer, which is no surprise because crypto markets have been flat up until recently. And now that the crypto markets are moving again in Q4, we're starting to see a bump on Coinbase. Coinbase is going to be what I would say is going to be one of the most best stock picks over a 10-year period, over a really long period. But you do have to consider that as the cryptocurrency market collapses and we go into a bear cycle, which we're very far away from, probably 6 months or more away. There's no signs of that yet. But what will happen is Coinbase is going to collapse because those transactions aren't going to be happening. So I'm almost using this as another crypto investment, and it's definitely a short-term hold for me. Short-term meaning several months, and then I plan on getting out of this. Now, the last company I want to talk about today is Facebook. So Facebook is getting destroyed. And no surprise really, this company sucks. I can't stand Facebook. I hate almost everything about Facebook. I can't stand. But that's a different conversation. But basically, with the changes that Apple made, making it very, very difficult for people to advertise on Facebook, their business model is getting wrecked because as an e-commerce advertiser, you can't be profitable anymore. So all small businesses are not advertising on the platform anymore. And Facebook hasn't found a way around this. They've worked on a thing called their conversion API, and I've used it. And quite frankly, it just doesn't work well. It just doesn't work as well as their old advertising solutions. And Apple really put the kibosh in their whole business platform. And now since then, Facebook's got all these PR issues, right? The company's been called out for doing basically things that are not socially responsible. It doesn't take a genius to look at Facebook and see that they're not very socially responsible. And then the other thing about it is now the big news is Facebook is considering changing their brand name. Could you imagine that? Can you imagine Facebook not being called Facebook? Boy, that is that is a totally different world. Comcast did that with Xfinity in a way, but I just can't see how Facebook is going to do this. So when we go to the sort of the next story here, this came out on The Verge that Facebook is going to be rebranding itself. Boy, what name? What else would you call it? I can't wait to see how they figure this one out. And they're probably doing it because they're just essentially being hammered as a business. If we take the top here at 380, we're looking at currently a 16% drop. Not terrible, but not good. Not good, that's for sure, for an individual stock. So that's my food for thought for today. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one.